Hey guys, what's up? It's Michael Rutherford. I'm here with
Dustin Schaefer.
We are sitting in the back of my Subaru baby wagon. There's a car seat right in front of you. But we just finished an appointment meeting with a couple of trainers and physical fitness guys across the street. Wanted to just pull over and go, you know what? Here's all the questions we're getting constantly, and let's just knock out a video. So hopefully you can see us and hopefully you can hear us. But I'm not kidding. I have some notes. So one of the first questions that I want to ask you is, what the heck is the dual fuel diet?
All right.
And how does it work?
All right, so the dual fuel diet, the idea behind that is to utilize ketones and glucose together. So at the end of the day, we want to be able to tap in both these fuel sources. Michael likes to use the idea of
check it.
There it is.
Both
ketones.
of them.
All right, greater than glucose. So the idea is to primarily use ketones as our primary fuel source, and then strategically use glucose, kind of like what a hybrid car would do, using a battery electrical engine, and then also using the gasoline when it needs a little extra boost. So that's the idea behind the dual fuel diet. And but there's different people are going to be at different places when they start implementing the dual fuel diet.
Let me say something. So when you and I met, I weighed 217 pounds, and I was as out of shape and unhealthy as I've ever been in my entire life. How I was going to approach the dual fuel diet and how you approached it are maybe two totally different things, because you and I were at a completely different space physically in our life, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And so Michael, he wanted to initially just jump all in and go full throttle and push himself into the ketosis, where that's what you wanted to do. So I ideally wanted to progress him in because of where he was at in his life, and I wanted him to learn through that process.
So there's, I think we were talking back and forth. We were actually talking to Brian too. Probably 3 different kinds of people, and I'll just say what I think that they are, at least my experience, and then let's dive into those even more in detail. And you might start one way, and then within a week, 2 weeks, a month, totally be a different way. So
Absolutely.
The first way, you might just want to take our product every day, and that's it. You just want to take it, and you don't really have a lot of interest in making that radical of changes. I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't want a gym membership. I didn't want to actually sweat, but I definitely wanted to lose some body fat, physically get better, feel better. So I sort of inched my way into it. But I think the first person just wants to get the product and see how it goes.
Sure.
And then the second person wants to make some adjustments. Maybe they go gluten-free. Maybe they start walking. Maybe they stop eating cookies and ice cream at night. Maybe they're going to make some adjustments. Maybe they want to try out native coffee, butter and coconut oil in their coffee. And then maybe the third type of person, which is a bona fide freak. I'm just kidding. I've become that person. I was a Stouffer's macaroni and cheese guy, and now I'm a full-blown wild animal when it comes to what I eat, because now I get it. So you have all these different kinds of people, and you don't know who's watching or what their interest is. So maybe address those 3 generally and then in more specifics.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So, for instance, if you have somebody that's just has been frustrated with life, doesn't know if diets really work for them, or has maybe some type of medical condition that doesn't want to dramatically change their lifestyle or diet, utilizing the product is going to be very useful for them. It's going to help them carve their cravings, give them a sustainable energy and focus, so they get a lot of benefits from the product without having to change their lifestyle and diet a lot. They will still lose weight, they still will feel better, but at the end of the day, I want them to really focus on their expectations of what they want to achieve. Don't expect to not change anything and then lose 100 pounds. So that's really, really important. And then you have that person in the middle that's like, I don't want to go to the extreme, but I kind of want to change and I do want to lose some weight and I want to do it quicker. Well, ultimately, we're going to want to start to drop their carbohydrates down, start substituting out some of those gluten products, or for gluten-free products, preferably things that aren't full of carbs and sugar.
Right.
Increase their protein just a little bit, or unless you already eat a high-protein diet, increase their dietary fats like coconut oils, butters, avocado, MCT oils, things like that can ultimately help curb your hunger, and you will start to lose weight quicker. Now, the people that are expecting big, rapid weight loss, you have to go all in. You can't just expect to change one little thing and lose 30 pounds in two weeks.
Right.
That's just unrealistic. And so at the end of the day, the dual fuel diet, the Keto S product, is really about health. And it's about driving health for people.
Not just weight loss, right?
Yeah, not just weight loss. I mean, if you focus on that, weight loss will just be a byproduct of that. And then, like Michael had said, if you just slowly start with the product and then make some subtle changes, and you have the right expectations of how your results are going to come, you will then slowly maybe switch over to the hardcore, keto people like myself.
A full-blown superhuman, just
there you go,
wild person.
Absolutely.
And one thing that's really cool about the product, and I'm always using props. If you've ever seen any video I've ever done, it's always props, man. this product, a day, 2 days, 5 days, it's going to alter and internally adjust, like tweak your biochemistry. The things that you think you like, it's so funny. The first time we talked, I go, if you had a cheat meal, what would it be? You're like, fruit. And I'm like, not like a sleeve of Oreos or something. Biochemistry wise, like his physical desires of what he wants from the inside out are just different.
Absolutely.
He's rewired the way that his body works. And I don't know if it was Nick Huntington or one of my buddies. He goes, man, I just wish I craved vegetables. And I was like, well, you don't eat any, dude. If you don't eat vegetables, you're never gonna want vegetables. You know why I like Rice Krispie treats? Because I eat them. And the more of them you eat, I don't eat them anymore. The more of them you eat, the more of them you want. So once you start putting pure therapeutic ketones in your body, no matter which of those 3 categories you start with, over a period of time, some a day, some a week, some a month, they start sliding down that slope almost into, and also when you raise your awareness,
sure,
the things that you now know prohibit you from eating the things that you used to eat, because now you know what they do to you.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I guess that leads into this point is, when you get somebody that has been struggling with their weight, and weight, I always go back to weight because that's what everybody measures everything by, not feeling good, not having less joint pain, or whatever else the benefits are, they're worried about their weight.
Right.
And what's interesting by that is if you've been struggling with your weight for a long time, and
I had for years and years.
And you don't tolerate carbohydrates very well, don't expect to eat a lot of them and still lose weight. That's just the way it's going to work. And you either have to accept that, or wait for some miracle pill that's going to come out in the next 100 years that will just suck all the fat off your body, which I don't see coming anytime soon. So this is the closest thing we have. It's the closest thing we have, right? And so
a lady, you got to hear this. A lady yesterday, I'm on the telephone with her. She goes, Michael, you got the silver bullet. And I'm like, I like it. She goes, you got the silver bullet to health.
Yep, I absolutely think so. As long as we focus on the health aspect of it,
right,
and the diet and the weight loss will come with that, as long as we focus on that.
Correct. And one of the things, if and there's a saying, and I guess we'll probably end this portion that makes sense to me. I think it's if you judge an elephant by its ability to climb a tree, you'll always be disappointed. So one of the things that I've experienced is everybody goes in and every day weighs themselves, and they're like, "Crap, I'm not losing weight." But then they put on a belt and they've lost two pant sizes, and they're like, "Oh crap!" And then there's all these other things. They're like, "Man, I didn't lose any weight." So then I go, "How do you feel?" And they go, "Oh, I feel awesome." And I go, "Well, awesome! Celebrate that."
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Have maybe a list of things that you're hoping to get out of the product, and then as you start to accomplish them, the product's going to create certainty for you. Because as you go out and share this with the people that you care about, they want certainty. They don't want any hope. They want certainty that they can get a result with what we have, and their expectations have to be realistic, that we can meet them. So
absolutely,
just know which of those 3 kind of categories you might fall into, which just might be a dabbler, somebody, kind of kicking the tires, let's see how it works. If you like the taste, man, that's a win. If you feel good when you drink it, that's a win. If you have energy when you drink it, that's a win. If it curbs your appetite, that's a win. If you stop thinking sugars and ice creams, that's a win. Holy smokes, that's a big win.
Absolutely.
And
that makes the last point here is that I go back to expectations again. So what might be extreme to you may not actually be extreme for what we're talking about as extreme. So when we talk about extreme keto adapted superhuman, we're talking about being really diligent. I'm talking about a lifestyle for a year and a half, 2 years. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to extreme.
Right.
If we just change our diet for 3 days and you go, that's crazy for me, that's maybe not extreme for what we're talking about.
Right.
That's just extreme for where you're at right now.
Right.
And so just channel those expectations in, focus on feeling good, focus on all the positives, and the weight will just come off naturally. You're
exactly right. And look, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Everyone that's going to see this chat has been, some of them years, some of them decades, that they have to unwire. Like, you have scrambled eggs, try to put them back in the shell, ain't that easy, super hard. You've got decades, some of us 30 years worth of bad decisions with food and a misunderstanding of what it means to be healthy. This whole big fat lie that's out there, that if you eat fat, you're going to get heart disease and you're going to die. Give us a little time to work into your knowledge, to sort of whittle away at all the things that we thought we knew meant to be healthy and nutritious. Man, just give it some time. And then if you do, I know that's the first thing Dustin said to me. He's like, let's manage your expectations. Let's get aggressive. Let's get fun. Let's get, a little bullish on your goals, but let's keep them realistic. Let's work towards them and then adjust them as we go.
Exactly.
I mean, look, this is like biohacking 101 kind of, depending on how much into this you want to get. everybody's biochemistry is different. Even as him and I sit here, we're different. God made us differently.
Sure.
So you have to figure out what works for you and what works for me, but just have fun with it the whole time and celebrate every win that you get, and let's just do it. Let's just kind of one by day by day, go for it.
Absolutely. Stay within the community and make it happen.
Woo!